need a refresher course when it comes to teasers. Here's how they work. So you can play different types of teasers, but the most common one is a 6-point teaser. You get 6 points in your favor either direction. So here's an example. Like if you like the Broncos laying 7.5 at home against my Titans, you could tease it down and get them all the way down to a 1.5 favorites at home. Okay. First game of the season against a rookie quarterback. And here's the other thing. These are the best to play in the NFL. And the goal of this is to go through as many key numbers as possible. So when you go from 7.5 to 1.5, you go through 7, you go through 6, you go through 3. And those are 3 major key numbers. Because think about it. In the NFL, points are more at a premium as opposed to college. Mm-hmm. That is another commandment of teasers. Do not be teasing college football games. There is too much volatility in the scores to where it just doesn't make a ton of sense. So rule number 1 is you go through as many key numbers as possible. Rule number 2 is only do it in the NFL. All right, so when we have those ground rules out of the way, let's begin on my favorite teaser legs of the week. All right, Jenks, so I found several good candidates, and I'm going to give you all of the candidates, and you tell me who ruins my teaser, okay, and we're going to kick that team out. All right, so leg number 1, and we're starting off a little shaky, but I do think that based on this number, I do like it. I'm going to go Raiders, who are +3 at the Patriots. You get that all the way to +9. I do think the Patriots are going to be a lot better this year, but I don't think they're going to be boat racing people. Like maybe I'm not high enough on Drake May, but it's also the first game of the season. I think this needs to be said as well. Week 1 in the NFL is always chaos. We see this constantly. Dogs are always barking. Like we always see these wild upsets. So I think underdogs are kind of the way to go, especially for teasers. So we're going to go Raiders +9 at the Patriots. Next up, Ravens are on the road at the Bills. Should be a great game. The Ravens are getting a 1.5, and this is one where you go through all those key numbers. So you take it from 1.5 all the way to +7.5. I think the Ravens could win that game, outright. Now you get them at +7.5. Next up, the Dolphins are getting a 1.5 on the road at the Colts. I don't think the Colts should be favored against anybody except for maybe the Saints. So that's an easy teaser leg for me. Dolphins +7.5 on the road at the Colts. Next up, I kind of alluded to this one. The Broncos laying 7.5 at home against my Titans. The new line in the teaser is the Broncos laying a 1.5. They just basically need to win by 2 points. I think that's a very good teaser leg. And then the final one, and I don't love doing standalone games, so this might be out, but the Bears getting a 1.5 at home against the Vikings. So they would be getting 7.5 points in the teaser. So, Jenks, we've got the Raiders, the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Broncos, and the Bears. Who ruins my teaser?
Maybe the Colts ruin it for you? Like, could the Colts come out? I don't know how good Miami's going to be. And I don't think the Colts are going to be good either. Like, I'm with you. Why are they favored against anyone? But also, Daniel Jones is serviceable enough where against a Dolphins defense that is replacing, I believe, their entire secondary through trade or free agency. Like, if he has one of those games, because from time to time, he'll look pretty good. And they do have some weapons on that offense. So I think there's a possibility of all the ones that you mentioned that maybe the Colts ruin it. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would say Indy.
Okay, so the Dolphins are out. So now we stand with the Raiders, the Ravens, the Broncos, and the Bears. Do we want to make this a 3-leg teaser? Or are we kicking somebody else out? Because normally, I will say this, on Teaser Tuesday, it's generally 3-leg teasers. I think it's +240. Okay. And I've had some success with those. So do we kick the Bears out or are we kicking the Raiders out? Because I feel pretty strongly about the Broncos. Like at home, first game of the season against a rookie quarterback. I think the Broncos are really going to be really good this year. Especially when you have the head coaching advantage with Sean Payton. And Bo Nix at least has a season under his belt. So I do like the Broncos quite a bit. And plus, here's the thing. If they ruin my teaser, I'm not going to be that mad because I'm a Titans fan. But I like the Ravens. Think they can win that game outright. So +7.5. I do think it's going to be a close game. How do we feel about the Bears getting 7.5 at the Vikings?
I mean, it should be
at home against the Vikings.
Yeah. It's the only thing that scares me about this game is that there's so many unknowns. Like, what are we going to get from J.J. McCarthy? I don't know. I wouldn't bet on him because we have like no idea. And also, Caleb Williams could be because the Vikings defense was really good last season. Like, I know we all focused on Sam Darnold, the incredible season he had where he was an MVP candidate, but the Vikings defense was fantastic last year, and they have a lot of those pieces coming back. So if they stay healthy, that's going to carry them in a lot of games. And Caleb Williams is learning a brand new system under Ben Johnson, and we've seen, training camp reports where he just has not been able to grasp it just yet. Like, he's sort of relearning everything, like another rookie season for him. So I think if we're trying to go with another game that maybe doesn't go the way we think, maybe it's that one. Caleb Williams could have a bad game and the Vikings show out, their defense performs, and you lose that leg. If we're trying to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm doing. And I think this is an important practice when you are betting, is always consider the other side. Mm-hmm. Here is another team that almost made the card for me, but something just doesn't feel right. So the first game of the season, it almost looks like it's tailor-made for a teaser. The Eagles are laying 8 at home against the Cowboys. So obviously, if you put it in teaser, they would be down to -2 at home. Why can't I pull the trigger on this? Like, this feels very cut and dry to me. Like, the Eagles just won the Super Bowl. They're playing at home. The Cowboys, it feels like their stock could not be lower. But I don't know. It's a divisional matchup. Like, I'm not a huge fan of, like, just assuming divisional matchups are going to go one way or the other. Because I would bet you, like, the public's going to be all over the Eagles here.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe you could justify it saying, okay, I'm going to play this on a Tuesday and say the line is probably going to move in the direction of the Eagles. But should this be in my teaser?
I think so. Like, I'm not laying 8. Like, this number has gone from 6.5 to 7 to 8, and it wouldn't shock me if by game time there's a little bit of public money that comes in and maybe moves it to 9. But at some point, it is a divisional game. And look, the Cowboys are dysfunctional. They got worse on defense, but there's still plenty of talent there, right? And it's laying more than a touchdown in a divisional game. That's a lot of points. It's not like the Cowboys at the Saints, so I wouldn't touch that. But if you're getting the Eagles at home on a Thursday night in a divisional game where you're laying less than a field goal, you're laying 2, you play it down from 6, then, yeah, I'd play that.